Okay, just to get started, I just want you to have a look at the keyboard down in front of me, and you'll see that I have labelled the notes green in the left hand side of the keyboard and blue on the right, for the simple reason of colour coding what I hope your left hand will be doing and your right hand will be doing. Your left hand is going to be doing the green notes mostly, and your right hand is going to be doing the blue notes mostly. Middle C is exactly halfway between the division of the green and the blue notes, and it's the starting point of the musical alphabet. If you can imagine our own alphabet starts A, B, C, D, E, F, G. The musical alphabet for some reason starts on C, and that's the way you're going to be thinking about it. So middle C is our reference, and middle C is easily found. If you see black notes on the piano, there are groups of black notes, 2s and 3s, 2 and 3, 2 and 3, and so on. So 2 black notes, if you drop down one note before that group, you'll get C. C. Well, you can't see the second black note up here, but there's C. Down here, C, and here, C. So that will always be C. They're all C's. Now, to take this a point further, you get groups of 3 notes, or 3 black notes here, and here, and here, and here. And those black notes, if you drop down 1 degree, you're going to find F, 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 and F. 3 black notes, F. 3 black notes, F. So, you've got 2 references now. You've got a C and an F. And the alphabet continues its sequence as it does in the normal alphabet. After C comes D, E, F, G. And then you go from G, you return to the first note of the alphabet, A, B, and then you're back to C. So there are 7 notes basically in the musical scale: C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and then C to finish. Now, it's very important to get comfortable with the layout of the keyboard, and the layout always comes back to the note names. We have described the anchors, the C's and the F's, relative to the black groupings. There's F and there's C. And now the next stage of that is to get comfortable with where they are on the keyboard. And in order to do that, we're just going to think of the note C, and we're going to go into what I call C position, which is you put your thumb on C and your little finger 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 notes above it on G. So that's C position. That's C position. Well, I'll do the green notes with my left hand. That's C position. That's C position. Oh, little finger in the left hand, thumb on the right. G, C, G. Little finger, thumb, C, G. Right hand, thumb, little finger, C, G. Thumb, little finger, C, G. But let's just stick to the right hand for now. First, the C position. Just play it over and over again like this. And if you were going to, for instance, play a higher C position, you'd simply just move up the octave. That's called an octave. When the higher C, when you go to the C higher than the C, middle C, or the C up here, that's an octave higher, and that's an octave higher again. So this is another C position, a higher C position. play 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, F position, very simply, you find your F, 3 black notes, there's your F. Well, we can see F on the keyboard here because it's labelled. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. I'm going to go back to C. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I'm going to go to the A position. 2, 3, 4. G position. 1, 2, 3, 4. F position. And this is something you should do yourself. Move that shape around. That shape, little thumb and little finger. But don't play it like this. I'm only holding that shape so you can see it. When your fingers are held naturally over the keys like that, they're disguised. So we'll add the left hand. Except it's the mirror image in the left hand. It's the little finger and the thumb. That's your C position. If you were to put your thumb on C in the left hand as you do in the right hand, then your little finger is going to go down and capture F, which is, that's not what you want. You want C as your lowest note to be in that position. So you have to do it with your little finger. Same thumb in the right hand. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now go to F position. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now go to G position. Now go to D position. Now go to A position. Now go to G position. And one thing you'll notice is all the notes, C position, D position, E position, F position, G position, A position, all are played with the same, exact same distance between your thumb and your little finger. That shape doesn't change, with the exception of B to F. It's slightly narrower and it sounds different as well. It's a different interval. But as a rule, all those positions are the same distance and the same interval, and that interval is called a fifth. So this part of the video, I'm going to introduce you to a series of exercises written in the 1870s by a pianist called Hanon. And the reason why it's still being used at the moment is because it's so effective. Many pianists and piano teachers and students around the world still use this book. It's probably the most popular and useful book of its kind. So why do you need to practice Hanon? It's a very good warm-up exercise. You don't have to search for music to warm up with when you have Hanon at your side. The decision is made for you. The exercises are very sequence based, so they're not very taxing on your brain. Basically, they're sort of like tongue twisters for your fingers, except they're not exactly tongue twisters. They're sequence exercises for your fingers. It's also very good for strengthening your hands and very good for your tendons. and your technique. It's very important to practice these exercises with your hand shaped, if you can imagine, like that there, with a nice kind of a soft curved shape to your hand, as opposed to stiff rigid fingers and a flat wrist. That wouldn't be good. Or if you're reaching up like this here, no good either. You want your elbow to be relaxed and your wrist to be relaxed and your hands to be nice and cupped like that there, your finger rather to be cupped, so that you can play a long time without getting without stressing your tendons or your fingers. So yes, Hanen can be a little bit boring to play, but at the same time I would endorse them, and I think that everybody who is serious about learning piano to an advanced level or an intermediate level, if they want to play pieces that are a little bit more challenging, you will have to include Hanen as the backbone to your practice. So the first Hanen exercise, it's as I said in the first Hanen exercise is a simple sequence. I'm going to play the notes C, E, F, G, A, G, F, E. That's all it is. It's those 5 notes there. And then when you finish that sequence, you start the sequence again up here. D, F, G, A, B, A, G, F. And then you move the sequence up 1 step. Do you see where my thumb is now? And if you were paying attention, you'd guess that your thumb moves up 1 step to F. And the sequence continues. And it keeps continuing, and it keeps continuing. And at B, it's time to start to come back down. Sorry. No, that's not it. That's your new cluster of notes there. That's your new sequence. G, E, D, C, B, C, D, E. And then you move that sequence down 1. E is your new note. Sorry, F is your new note. With your little finger. And so from here, you move down the sequence 1 block. E is the new note. And so on. New starting note with your little finger. New starting note with your little finger again. finish on C on your thumb. So a word about the fingers as well and the numbers that we use for fingering. When I talk about putting your thumb on a note, thumb can be interchangeable with 1. So that's 1. If you see a piece of music and 1 written, or I say put 2 on it, your index finger would be 2. If I say put 1 on it, it's your thumb. 2 is your index finger. 3 is your middle finger. 4 is obviously your fourth finger or ring finger. And 5 is your little finger. That's the way it is. It's the very same in the left hand. 1 is your thumb. 2 is your index finger. 3 middle. 4 is your ring finger. And 5 is your, obviously, it's your little finger. So the fingering for that exercise was quite simply 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2. That's all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2. Now, I would advise as you go or as I play, count the fingers as I play them. It'll be a good way of getting used to the correct term and the correct finger that you should be thinking about when you're playing the note with that finger. So 1, well, that's obviously 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's the way the sequence goes for the first Hanon exercise, and that's an introduction to fingering. I'm going to play the left hand exercise of that as well, starting on C. Sequence goes up 1. Sequence goes up 1 again. Sequence goes up again. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we start coming back down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to call out fingers now because my left and right fingers are, I'd be calling out right-handed fingers and the left-handed fingering would be different. So the best thing to do here is just to focus on the correct notes, concentrating on how it feels when you play them. Hopefully at this stage you'll feel and know the correct fingers without having to think about them, because the sequence will have held you